Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 classic Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Naughty Neighbors, released in 1939. It's the 260th in the series and it's directed by Bob Clampett. You can find this on the Porky Pig 101 DVD set. Just be aware that it does not have the correct opening title music. It doesn't affect the cartoon really aside from that, but it's more of an FYI. And it's been remastered in HD for streaming services. However, there is a weird, I think, 1 second gap just before the first fight. I don't know. Hopefully they'll do it again and third time's the charm. So I can't show you the full cartoon here due to copyright on YouTube, but if you haven't seen the short, the premise is very simple. We're out in the Ozarks, where you've got the Hatfield and McCoys, and you've got the animals feuding, and Petunia and Porky Pig, who are from each family, decide to make up. They want the animals to make up, and though they initially do, well, they're the Hatfields and McCoys, so of course they're going to fight, right? So what you're going to see, first of all, is a re-edit of the original audio commentary I did, giving my initial thoughts of the short at the time, and then you'll hear some new thoughts from me after this, and also a sample from the Bob Clampett retrospective, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. So this one is the last appearance of Petunia Pig, who's voiced by Shirley Reed, and at least last appearance in the Golden Age anyway. I know that she would appear next in that beautiful masterpiece known as the Looney Tunes Meet the Groovy Ghoulies. If you haven't seen my reaction video to that, yeah, definitely check it out. It's something. It's definitely something. You know, I gotta say, I like the simple idea here, where it's like, okay, the two sides have actually now made good, like and yet the animals haven't. Like they're trying to do the right thing by their owners, but no, they still hate each other, as we can see right here. So something tells me that because he put so much effort into the Jeepers Creepers, he might have done this one a little bit more quicker, maybe because it's definitely a lot more gag centric than Jeepers Creepers, which seem to be a lot more, I guess, there's a lot more story to it and all that. Oh boy, I mean, what do you guys think of this one? I mean, putting aside the title music stuff up on the Porky 101 set, what do you guys think of this anyway? What an ending. Everyone's so happy. Look at those two ducks kissing as well. But definitely pay attention with this cartoon on a lot of the background characters. They're absolutely amazing. You know, not as crazy as, say, Porky Wacky Land, but it's got some interesting animation. Definitely check it out. So those are my original thoughts, so let's have a look at this cartoon in more depth now that there's a HD version out, which does look better than the original Porky 101 print. I mean, it wasn't the worst, opening title music aside, but, it's always nice to see them do a proper restoration. Now, I will say I do love the opening. You got that whole beautiful, peaceful sounding music, and then bang, it ends this crazy fight scene with a lot of looped animation in the back, but hey, it's still pretty funny. I quite enjoy that. And I guess the most fascinating thing about this particular short is actually that newspaper article. And, the more I look at it, especially in this HD version, the more I'm just fascinated at it. So there's a Jay Carey reference to the left. That's a reference to animator John Carey. I'm not sure if this meant that he had kids at the time or whatever, I don't know. But weirdly enough, you've got an article on the Titanic on the right. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, does this short take place, in the late 1800s or something? Or, the early 1900s, I should say, because, Titanic sank in, 1911? Or I think so, off memory. But anyway, but weirdly enough, look at the date. Why is it 1942? This short was released in 1939. So was this short re-released for some reason? Then they updated the date. I know that a few shorts have had dates updated and certain references removed for whatever reason after release, because those references will become outdated. But Yeah, I don't have a clear answer here, but if you know why this is dated 1942, like was there a re-release? Definitely let me know. I'm curious about it. Oh, and of course, the newspaper name is a nice touch. Of course, the Ozark Bazooka, which is pretty good. And we got to make sure we mention that they're part of the Ozark Publishing Company. So I wonder what other newspapers this particular company has. So this short clearly references the famous Hatfield and McCoys feud, and that is actually something I'll go into a little bit more detail in my Hillbilly Hair review. And I do like that extra detail, by the way, in that newspaper, that Porky is the real McCoy. I thought that was a clever little pun there. And as would have been mentioned in the original track, yeah, this is the last short with Petunia Pig, and she would actually have a much bigger career and more, I guess, fulfilling career, assuming that she was real. What? She's not real. But in the comic books. So there'd be a lot of comic stories with Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig, and Petunia would be in there. And given her roles in these shorts, she was just typically interchangeable girlfriend, or in some cases, I think she was even a sister in one of the Fantastical shorts as well. And we've got some repeated animation here. So we've got some repeated animation from Boom Boom, and that's the animation of the bombs flying all over the place. And there is also a sequence where one character is shooting a machine gun and becomes shaky. So that's from that short. And that scene with the mother hen preparing her eggs for war, well, What Price Porky, which is a great cartoon, and honestly, it's a little bit better than this one, but they reuse that animation from there. And, I like the idea of this short, that they're like, you know what, we're going to actually end this famous feud and, have the main characters, make peace. But of course, the animals don't make peace. I thought that was a good idea. But the execution, it's okay. I actually, it's quite clear that Clampett was more interested in these secondary characters anyway, doing all this kind of funny business around. And I love the whole thing with how the animals would be, dancing nicely at first, then bang bang, they'll hit each other. So the black and white duck dancing, I thought that was a really good scene. And then two roosters, they will start off slow, and then eventually all out, and then of course everyone starts fighting. So I like that idea, but the ending's weird. Like, you got the feud pacifier, which is shaped like a grenade, and then it's like, oh well, we're gonna end this cartoon, so it's thrown, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, it just ends. And also, one part I'm not a big fan of is the whole Porky and Petunia song. It's very, I know it's supposed to be sweet, but it's not a song I'm going to be listening to again anytime soon. I mean, it isn't bad. It conveys the point it's trying to make, but yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Let me put it that way. So now there is a sample from the Bob Clampett Retrospective Part 1 video, where I know a lot of you don't have time to watch those big videos, so at least you can look at the part relating to this cartoon, so enjoy. Naughty Neighbors, which again got tarnished by the Porky's Tire Trouble music on Porky 101, but is now properly restored. But again, this one, Clampers just focus on all these wacky farmyard characters throughout, and it's like, okay, here's Porky, here's Petunia, they skip away, stuff happens, oh, and they come back. Okay, sure, why not? Well, I mean, anyone have any thoughts on Naughty Neighbors?
It's okay. It's a pretty straightforward cartoon as far as this list goes. Like they declare like peace, and the opposing sides are they're not even trying to get along. They're only doing so just based on the rules. And but then all of a sudden, just like, forget this. Let's just go to war. And all it takes is a love or peace grenade to bring them all back, which isn't that kind of the equivalent of like a love potion if you think about it?
Love
Yeah.
potion number 9.
Oh,
So-
you'd be
I
seeing
do
it,
like
but
the duet between Porky and Petunia in this one. It's charming, and I do love Porky stuttering throughout the song. It's very charming.
So, what would I rate this short? I mean, it's not a bad short, but it's also not particularly remarkable either. It's got some nice funny business there, and Yeah, some of the music's pretty nice. I mean, you've also got When Are You Who, and I like the rendition of When Are You Who here in this particular short. And funnily enough, there was actually Merry Melodies from 1936 called When Are You Who that was directed by Fritz Freeling. But honestly, it's quite forgettable. I mean, I give this one 6.5 out of 10. You know, some nice animation, and there are some funny side gags in this one, but ultimately, I think it's just one of the lesser ones, and just maybe, give it a watch, and make up your own mind. But yeah, it's one of the more forgettable ones in my opinion. But in any case, that'll wrap up this one. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.